Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to my channel, I'm going to do a general message for you got it, Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates. Also know on my channel, I like to dive deep within the readings. So I look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play it as karmic themes to allow you to understand why your person's doing what they're doing. What is the spiritual significance to your connection? And the reason why we want to know that is a lot of times we're connected to karmic mates. Well, all the time, every relationship is karmic because every relationship has the opportunity to teach us, to show us something different about ourselves or a connection. So every relationship, we tend to identify karma with bad. So when I'm talking about the karma that creates trauma, well, I'm talking about past life karmic mates. So again, a connection that you have for many, many lifetimes, and you have certain spiritual lessons which you haven't learned. So spirit continues to give you these scenarios. The universe is spirit, so the universe continues to bring scenarios that will play out in the form of that karmic theme to give you an opportunity to actually heal, to shape shift your reality. Because there's many different realities that play out at one time. Your level of consciousness is going to be inevitably what manifests. So again, we want to make sure that our core beliefs are in alignment with the things that we want to create, not more in alignment with the traumas of the past. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first and second card that I pull out, the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. Now, you need to write that word again in your comment bar if you want to enter into winning a free reading. You'll know if I chose you, if I wrote the word winner underneath your comment. If I did, you need to email me through my email, not my website. So through my email, and then tell me what channel you found me on and the days and times that you're available. And I will send back a link. All readings are done live because I believe in spiritual law, what's best for everyone. If you want your reading more private, you can send me the questions before, but I don't need questions. It always comes out in the channel. But if you feel more comfortable sending me questions, then you can do so. All right. Just wanted to put that out there because every now and again I get, what does the word winner mean underneath your comment? And, I get people reaching out through my email, or through my website, not my email, or, so just wanted to clarify. And if you're someone that is interested in life coaching, the link is also in the description box. And if you just want to learn, I have a lot of free resources on my website. So all that, again, you can find in the description box. Now let's see what the word of the video is. The word of the video, well, is anxiety and worry. Depression. I almost feel like someone's very depressed. Someone's just that they don't see a way out of their situation. They don't see a way out of this situation. They don't see a way to fix this connection between you and them. They actually back themselves into a corner. I'm feeling that. So again, this is the first card out. Lately, I've been pulling two cards out. You only have to write the one word in your comment bar. The other word is clear karmic programs of intolerance. So again, I feel like this is for everyone involved in your connection. I feel as if really your person, the person that's connected to you, they are all full of anxiety. They're depressed. They're full of worry because they don't see a way out of their situation. But really, they are the ones that are in charge of their own life. Everybody's in charge of their own life. I feel like they can't because there's people that are controlling them. So it's again, they back themselves into a corner where they don't have anyone coming to rescue them. They don't have any way out of really the mess that they made. And I'm kind of feeling like you were with a person that was, committed to somebody else, but pretending that they weren't committed. Like that person was living a totally separate life. They just had that person. And I'm feeling as if the karmic, and we're going to call that person the karmic that was connected to your person, just got to a place where they're intolerant. They are no longer tolerant to being disrespected. I feel like that was a loveless connection for a really long time. And I also feel like you are at the place where you're like, I've done enough healing in my life that anything that just doesn't work for me isn't like serving me in a positive way. I want to clear it out of my life. I don't want it anymore in my life because it's really, it's staying connected to people on a lower state consciousness keeps you stuck in the karmic programs of feeling not worthy, feeling not good enough, feeling like you're not enough. All these lower energies, which, like I said, I feel like you've done healing and you're just intolerant to it. And the person that's connected to you can leave their situation at any time. They don't need to stay bound to a person that's intolerant of their behavior, but doesn't let go of them. Someone that claims that they're going to let go only to say, you know what, every time you're going to go, I'm going to pull you back and then I'm going to beat you up some more. And I'm going to, take from you and manipulate you and shame you into making you stay here. But I don't really want you here because I'm actually got to the point where I can't even stomach you anymore. So there's this just dynamic where everyone has come to this place within their evolution where they know that they have to, again, clear the programs of intolerance, whatever's not working, because I feel like it's going to hold you back, just not within connection, relationship, like your relationship wouldn't go anywhere with this person as long as they stay in victim state consciousness. But for your career, and I feel like this karmic, they think that they're punishing the person that's connected to you. They're actually punishing themselves because they're not allowing themselves to move on. They're choosing to stay in a place of, you know what, I don't forgive you. I'm so angry with you. I'm going to punish you. I'm going to punish you. I'm going to punish you. And in that, I'm going to stay angry all the time. Just they're ruining their own life and they don't see that. And it's actually, I feel like making them sick, where your person is acting like the victim. Again, acting like they can't take it, but they've come to a place where they're like, I know that this isn't working. I know that this isn't working. So what was comfortable is no longer comfortable. So this is the energy. There's always almost like your person's like, I don't really know what to do. I don't know what to do to fix this on any angle. I feel like you don't have any anxiety over this person anymore. Like the only person that has anxiety really is the karmic. The person that's connected to you, which is really more the karmic than that karmic person. I feel like the karmic person just was in a relationship with this person that decided that they didn't want to be in a relationship anymore and just never let them know, and would come in and out. And I feel like maybe they looked the other way on it a little bit, but they just got to a point where they're like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah, this person wanted to dominate. They wanted to dominate the entire situation. They are dominating by choosing to be the victim, by choosing to stay in that connection. See, the karmic that's been feeding the connection for a long time, they're so hurt. They're so angry. They wanted it to work. They put so much time and effort and energy into the connection that they feel like it really should have worked, which is, crazy because it's like, it doesn't work that way. You can't make a person love you by how much you give. So but your person was more than happy. I keep calling them your person, but I don't want to call them your person. The person that's connected to you, that's thinking about you, is like new about this karmic. Well, they allow them to keep giving, to keep trying, to keep holding everything together. When meanwhile, they checked out of that connection a long time ago. It wasn't like it was an open marriage or an open connection. What this was your person just deciding, well, I know that I can dominate the connection on every point because, hey, well, the karmic doesn't want to give up their place, right? I mean, they've been the one that's giving the whole time. And the person that's connected to you doesn't want to give up their place because they're benefiting. They're getting from the karmic and they also are getting energy from you and whoever else that they're talking to. And I feel like you just felt like you had no sense of control because as long as that karmic's there, this person does whatever that they want. They act like they really care. They don't really care. They're in for a good time, not a long time. So they just wanted to dominate you, is what you feel like. You weren't allowed to date. They're gonna, hold on to you and hold on to the karmic at the same time. And they're gonna dominate the karmic too, because as long as the karmic knows that there's other people or even thinks that there's other people, I feel like they dealt with it for a little while. Not that they agreed with it, they didn't want to give up their position of how much energy and time they put into the relationship. So it was almost like they were in a connection with someone that changed the rules on them. And then they were like, well, maybe it'll pass, made excuses, tried to fix it, tried to do other things. And really, all that did was make the person that's connected to you ego get bigger and bigger and bigger, where they're like, well, I don't really have to change because I have this karmic here. And by having this karmic here, it gave them some sort of stability, made them stronger in themselves, while they knew that, you wanted to be in a connection with them. They're feeding you, they're telling you one thing, but they're kind of holding back because as long as this karmic's here, how much can they give you, right? So they were trying to dominate everybody to get what they want. And all it did was feed their ego. And they came in and out of your life, causing severe triggers of abandonment. Like, really, that's what would, because as long as there's a karmic there, well, they can't really give to you. And they also didn't want to give. Understand when a person weaves in and out of your life like that, what they're doing is they they are like training you, and they're manipulating you in a way that it can create brain damage, believe it or not. When a person comes in and out of your life, because what happens is that you get comfortable with this person being around and giving energy, and then they leave. So they're never really there for you when you need them. It becomes like a one-sided relationship where then you become paranoid because your emotional needs are not being met. This person's emotional needs are getting met, and not just by one person, but by multiple people, or just by two people. But nevertheless, you're giving 100%, they're giving not even 50%. And, they're purposely doing it because it's training you, and it's training you to be subservient to again, be dominated by them so that they are getting what they want. And it just made you feel forgotten about. Like I said, when your emotional needs are not being met, when this person is not showing up for you, and bluff. So you called their bluff. That's what wound up happening. You got to a place where you're like, I know that you're still holding on to somebody. You are checked out from that connection right now because maybe you got into an argument, you're bored, whatever it is. That karmic didn't agree to this double life, but they're not strong enough to really even, challenge it. And so they looked the other way because they were like, well, maybe it'll pass. And so what happened is like it didn't pass. And what happened is you walked away. And so now that you walked away, let's see where they are, because they thought that they were going to play this little game and that you were going to become subservient to what they wanted, that they would have had that karmic like sit there in the back, still continuing to do everything, still pretending that they were like living this, happily ever after. when meanwhile they're checked out of the connection. They're actually giving you the time, you the energy, sometimes, you know, and then the other times making you feel forgotten about. They're doing this also to the karmic, I mean, they didn't think that you were gonna call their bluff. And so they stayed away from you for a while because they didn't want to deal with the criticism. But I feel like they put up with the karmic, then criticizing them because it's like you like are not giving me enough. And I've grown to the place in this connection where I'm tired of this. I never said I wanted an open marriage or an open connection. I never said that we were seeing other people. It's like you pretend you're not even with me. You post pictures on your Instagram and on your Facebook like you're a single person. You don't include me in your life. We don't create intimate experiences. But you take from me. You continually take from me. You have no problem. If I'm going to clean your house, if we have kids, I'm taking care of the kids. I'm doing all the shit work. But I have no connection. But you're checked out. You're giving time and energy to other people. So they didn't want to come to you because they didn't want to deal with your criticism too. That's really what it is because they didn't want to be rejected. They wanted to be able to stay in their old habits. They like it when people are paranoid. They like to put people in a place of disempowerment, like I said. And then what they do is they check out. It's like, oh, you're bothering me now. Now you're going to yell at me. Now I got to hear from you. So this person drinks themselves or smokes themselves to death and was able to get away with that for a while with the karma because I believe that this person has not cheated once. They've cheated for a long time. It's that anytime the karmic is going to yell at them, anytime anyone's going to yell at them, it's like, I don't have to do anything. I don't want to have to hear it. And I believe that they drink in order to really not care. They can, that's why you're like, how come this person acts like they really don't care? Well, because again, they suppress all their emotions. They don't have a conscience. When a person drinks, they become somebody else. The way that this person drinks. This person drinks to avoid. So anytime that there's a conflict, anytime that somebody's going to make them feel bad about themselves, they're going to turn to the bottle and they're going to suppress those emotions and then they're not really going to care. So they're going to seem like they don't really care if they're rejecting you. They're not, that's what it's going to feel like. It's like, I don't really care. When meanwhile, they're the ones that are afraid of rejection. So again, some of them like are just not just have drinking disorders, but have eating disorders and just have overindulgent personalities where they can go to the casino and drop like their entire paycheck. They can go to a bar all night and there goes their entire paycheck. They'll go out to a restaurant, they order everything. It's again, this person likes to live a grandioso lifestyle. It's again to make them feel really big. And but really like their trauma, like that's what's dictating this person, their trauma, and why you attracted this person into your life, trauma. And the karmic has unresolved trauma because you wouldn't be able to have this person in your life unless you had suppressed trauma. This person, unfortunately, hasn't healed the effects of their trauma. So there's a part of them that feels so bad about themselves, feels inadequate. They're still living from that level of consciousness. And in order for them to feel good, their old habits are all about getting attention from other people, overeating, like any addiction possible to suppress. But underneath it all, and when we see such like deep trauma like this, the root cause is forgiveness. So really, this person should have done things to be forgiven. Okay, like the karmic really at this point needs to let go and forgive in order for their situation to be better. at this point, otherwise staying connected to someone that you would just want to punish, you're staying in this really negative energy. And it's like you're drinking the poison, all because you don't want to forgive, like you can't let go. You still, no matter how much you torture this person, it's not enough. It's just not enough. So we see that energy, and what we see with the person that's connected to you has unresolved trauma, and where they never forgave, because that's part of it. And for you, why did you attract this person into your life? Well, forgiveness. I'm not saying for you to forgive this person because they deserve to be forgiven. I'm saying that you might not be around this person, but you're still mentally and emotionally connected to this person. And it's also because you're angry, because you're resentful, because you're like, you were with me and you pretended to be single. You pretended you knew that I would never be in a connection with someone that's connected to somebody else. You left that part out. You deliberately kept information out so I would not make the right decision, what was best for me, so that I would not hold the boundary to you. So you found that manipulating. And for why? Because to do exactly what you knew that they would do, which was get cocky because they got what they wanted and then run back to that karmic, and not even run back, but they're just having that person there is reassurance for them that they can be an asshole pretty much. I can do what I want and not really care. I don't really care how I'm treating you. And really, so like the underlying energy is that forgiveness, like having a hard time forgiving, keeping everything in a place of imbalance. This person chooses to stay in balance. And really, when we say for you, like the imbalance is that staying connected. Now we'll ask whether this person plans on doing anything. But I think that they need to do healing, in order for it to be a regular, good, normal, healthy, and if there's such thing as normal, I should say, like a balanced connection, which is just equal give and take reciprocity, someone that can emotionally show up for you, someone that's not going to avoid, someone that doesn't hide behind, their alcohol and their addictions, that aren't constantly suppressing. This person needs their ego blown up in order for them to really be in a connection. They don't let go of that karmic, not because there's love. There's karmic on the karmic has love for them. The person that's connected to you doesn't have love for them. They're using that person. Or they may say that that's love, but it's a one-sided love. It's a love where I love you because you take care of my home. I love you because you clean my clothes. I love you because you're reliant. I love you because you're always here no matter what. You're just reliant. Well, that's because the karmic thought that they were in a committed relationship. They didn't sign up to be in a one-sided connection. So that's why they've grown to a place where they're like, I'm intolerant of this. It's time to clear this. Like they're realizing this is a karmic connection. I've been in a karmic connection this whole time. I thought that it was a twin flame or a soulmate connection, where I believe that connection at one time was hot and heavy, and then it went cold, and this person has just been playing that part, that they've been in a connection, but the person connected to you has been checked out. Yeah, they saw it, the karmic saw it from time to time, but looked the other way and made excuses. But now, your person was like really connected to you for a really long time, where, the karmic's like, wait a minute, I'm the schmuck running around doing everything for you, and you're not, you don't love me. You don't want to really be with me. You like what I do for you, but you don't want to be with me. So I think it took a little while for that karmic to wrap their head around it. But now they're so angry because they're like, what, you using me this whole time? You're using me? And of course, you're like, I would have never signed up to be in a connection like this. I don't want to betray anybody. betray anybody. That's not what I set out to do. That this person's not honest. I feel like I can be my true self around you. So again, this person, this is what they feel. You make me nervous though, because again, I think you can read right through them. So there's a part of them that does feel like they can be who they truly are, because this is a spiritual connection. So, and I feel like you were open to this person. You allowed them to be who they are. However, you challenged them. And right now, because you called their bluff, now you make them nervous, where they don't really know how to approach you because they met you as this person and now you're this person, where one time you didn't have boundaries up. One time you gave a lot of love, you gave a lot of attention, and now this person hasn't done anything to fix it. Instead, what they did was they ran away and acted like they didn't care, and they suppressed their emotions with their alcohol, with their addictions, with their overindulgent behavior. Really, that's what you saw. You called their bluff. They could have came and fixed it. They didn't, first of all, they didn't need to be the victim. Oh, I'm the victim, I can't get out. If you're intolerant to that, it's time to get out. Oh no, but I'm not really intolerant to it. I just don't, I like that the person does all this for me. I'm intolerant to having to be decent to them. I know what I'm doing. I'm getting something out of it. I'm comfortable. And that's the real truth. They'll make the excuse that they're intolerant to be with that karmic. Because the karmic wants, wants standards, holds standards too. Like, I want you to treat me well. I want us to act like a couple. I want you to act like I said, that you care. And the person's like, I'm not doing that. And they feel like they didn't have to. I'll just run away to somebody else. And that keeps you in line, and that keeps you in line. And then when you get on my nerves and everybody, wants to tell me something, I'm just going to check out and drink. So I don't have to. And now this is why they back themselves into a wall, because everyone got to a place where they're like, not anymore. Not anymore. You are the first person to make me feel this way. Like, I feel like that they are thinking a lot. I can't stand the thought of you with someone else. So I feel that this person really was going to get out of their situation, but they just don't have the guts to do so. So they thought, because they were not really in a connection with that karmic, that they would be able to carry on a connection with you. Mind you, they still wouldn't tell you that they were going to be connected to somebody else. This is what this person tried to do. They tried to be in a connection with that karmic, not like, again, a romantic one, almost like, well, you're like it as if the person was a nanny or the person was like a housekeeper or something. Like, try to put that karmic somewhere where you make them nervous because you ask questions, because now that they leave out pieces of their story, and then you're the one that has paid the karmic consequences in the past, that you don't really trust this person. So of course you're going to make them nervous, because you know that they lie. You know that they're not strong. Really, that's what this person is showing you. They're showing you that they are not strong at all. No matter how hard it is to, break up with someone, if, it's so much better than what this person's doing, because it's like they're letting that karmic like clean and cook and give money and do everything, but they're not giving that karmic love. They're not giving that karmic. The karmic never agreed for that. It's almost like they were in a relationship, and just like that, the rules changed, where they're like, I didn't know what was going on. Again, a lot of toxicity. Again, that's what I feel. That's what this person, it's like they're addicted to the toxicity, and you do make them. There is someone keeping me from you, and they're not keeping them from you. That's the thing, though. There's a person there But at this point, it's up to your person at any time, the person that's connected to you at this time, to say what they really want. And really, the toxicity that they're the ones that are producing, because they hold on to that karmic. They're not honest. At any time they could end it. They don't want to give up their comfortability. And in a way, they're like, well, I was hoping that you would give in. I would hope that it's not really a big deal because this person has to be here, but they don't have to be there, and no one would want that. And so, again, this is the toxicity, and that karmic, like I said, they're angry, they're mad, there's consequences because this person that's connected to you toyed with this person for so long. So they feel acting like, well, I can't leave because if I leave, it is the consequences are going to be worse. Consequences are not going to be worse. They just feel like, well, eventually you'll go back to the way that you were. Maybe you'll go back to like looking the other way. That's not happening. The karmic's not doing that. The karmic's saying, you're going to stay connected to me, but every day I'm going to make your life like a living hell. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do, but you're not going to do it. You're going to be my bitch almost, and that doesn't mean that if the person's girl, understand, doesn't matter. You're going to be, I own you now. The way that you took advantage of me, I'm the one that's going to take advantage of you. But it keeps them in a place of like toxicity because they're so angry. So it's like they put you into a triangle, into like a competition that you didn't agree to be in. So really that's the obstacle. The obstacle is that I'm working up the courage to contact you. Yeah, this person like knows that you know exactly what they did. So they do like want to contact you because they still have feelings for you. But you don't have it rose-colored glasses anymore. Like you see, but right through them, the innocence of this connection is completely gone. They ruined it. They betrayed you, and that's the way that you see it. You see that they betrayed you, that they don't have, like, you can't really trust this person. Um, like you can't unsee what they already showed you. And what is that they don't want to step out of their comfort zone. That's what look at this comfort zone. They don't want to step out of that comfort zone. Um, and in that your emotional needs don't get met, really. I mean, because they can't be in two places at one time. They're like their drug addiction, alcoholism, whatever the indulgent behavior is one block. This person's another block. There's a lot of obstacles that don't need to be there. This person chooses to keep themselves there. And again, what they do is they escape. They escape in order to not have to like take ownership of their own life, to pretend that somebody else is dictating their life. No one's dictating their life. They can leave at any time. They would be a little uncomfortable, but it's like they don't want to. It's like they pretend that they're tangled. They're unable to free themselves. Okay. And really it's because they back themselves into a corner. This karmic is mad, and there's going to be consequences, but they don't care about the consequences that there are with you right now because hey, they got into a connection with you before that ended. They weren't honest. And the fact that they weren't honest, they played games, and they played games not just with you, but the karmic. So everyone's pissed off. It's like that's why this person's like can't run to somebody else to fix it, because normally what I feel like this person would do is they create problems and then they run to somebody else, and now they have two people that are fighting over them instead of looking at the real problem, and no one's coming to this person's rescue. No one's doing that. So this person is drowning now in their emotions because they're nervous. and the more that you look, you say, well, it's just nothing but crazy drama right now. We go down the rabbit hole. The more that you look into this person, the more that you're like, I really don't like this person because everything that I thought you are, you're not that. You love to make drama. There's no peace. And the bottom line is you take it as far as you can go. And that's with karmic too. The karmic that's connected to your person is taking it as far as it can go also. So, but that's why this person was going to take it as far as it could go with you, holding back, hoping that maybe you come to their rescue. But that's not happening. And what you said is all this does is bring out my dark side. It's like, and what you see is only this person's dark side now. And you're like, I don't want that. You're not going to steal my joy. It's again with your secrets. It's like all I find out is nothing but lies. Nothing but lies and manipulation. You treated me like I was a conquest. It was a blind spot. I didn't see it. And what I see is nothing except for that you're childish. You're extremely childish. So that's where you are. You would never take this person back. This person is like, they don't know what to do because of what they created, but you're not taking them back. You're like, no, not taking them back. So we have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? What are you supposed to learn from this connection, right? Because the universe brings us people and situations and experiences that make us look at ourselves and look at the situation so that we can see what the karmic theme is. How did we contribute to the imbalances and why? So we have to go back to your inner child wounds because it's those inner child wounds that there's the themes, right? What if it was abandonment in childhood, if it was victimization, if it was betrayal, what was the karmic theme? Now that karmic theme happened at first, maybe with a mother or a father or a sibling, someone close to you in your immediate family. And that karmic theme has played out throughout your ancestral and within the immediate family. And then it wound up manifesting with friends and other people and other situations. So the karmic theme, well, that just kind of flipped over. So we have to kind of take it. And the word out was trauma. That literally just did like a weird, like little flippy type thing. And I never think that there's any mistakes. Time and attention. Hope. Wonder. Unworthy. Security and safety. Laughter. Crafts and creativity. I'm going to pull one more. Discipline. Okay. So Spirit saying, obviously, it was the trauma that you grew up with and the fact that parents, family members, whatever it was, didn't give the time and the attention, and you didn't give time and attention to creating a new you from that trauma. So there was no hope after a while. And hope is, we have to be embodying a new consciousness to get hope over time. Otherwise, if we continue to just live the same consciousness that came from, the trauma, which is usually unworthy, which again, right, unworthy, that's the emotional support of feeling not good enough, not good enough, not having enough, that there's something wrong with you. So again, you were brought up in a family, again, that because of that trauma, and trauma, it could be like emotional abuse, where I feel like some of you got yelled at all the time by your parents, where they made you feel like there was something wrong with you, like you weren't good enough. And so then you began to walk from that level of consciousness. And so it played out as not really getting the time and the attention, the emotional time and attention. That's first of all, when a person is making us feel unworthy, they're telling us to get out of their sight. They're telling us that they're disgusted by us. They're telling us that there's something wrong with us. And they're also doing it not just with their words, they're doing it with their facial gestures, and they're doing it by how they're treating us, right? So again, that steals a person's hope. And really what Spirit says is the time and attention that you didn't get, it made you feel like not safe, not secure, not having that. But the time and attention was used like within your creativity. I feel like many of you have like hobbies that you've done for a long time, whether that's played a musical instrument, whether that's paint, whether that's draw, whether that's, always been psychic, always like witches, let's just say, whatever that creative energy is something that you have always done, and Spirit saying something that you've always liked, always was drawn to. So your spirit has always known this, but you didn't give enough discipline to it, is what Spirit says. And the discipline is feeding it. Like if we're an artist, it's not just about the art that we make, but it's about going to different exhibits. It's about going to different places that are going to expand our knowledge on what we're learning, by showing us different perceptions, by showing us how different people do it, is that we're taking the time to master the craft by being consistent. And Spirit's saying, you didn't do that because it was like you were made to feel unworthy. So why bother to try? No one gave you the time and the attention and the security and the safety to feel like you were worthy to do it. So you didn't try. And it actually stole your joy and your hope. So there really wasn't laughter. And Spirit saying, so you have to go out and find the wonders within the world that stir up that passion that will keep your creativity alive. To again, and that creativity could be anything, how you do anything, from doing public speaking, to writing, to painting, to dancing, to whatever it is creatively, psychic abilities, even considered creative. That Spirit saying more energy. And it's not just about doing it, it's about learning it. It's embodying that consciousness so that you become the best version of yourself, so that you can become the best that you can be. And Spirit says, that's what it is. This person made you feel unworthy because, again, they were holding on to someone else. They weren't giving you the safety, security. They couldn't give you the time, really. And Spirit said, so it was about putting the time somewhere else that was going to be on the same level as passion. And Spirit says, and that was through your hobbies and your interests and the wonders in the world. You're gonna, when you go out and you find what stirs up your soul, again, like what resonates with you through trying to embody the energy that you're trying to bring forth. Well, you're meeting different people and situations and experiences, and you're also accessing different parts of yourself that you didn't even know existed. So Spirit says, when you go out into the world and find the wonders in the world that stir your passions, you're also finding what those things are inside of you that really were not developed enough because of what you went through. So Spirit's saying it was to show you that there's so much more to life than the experiences that you lived. So why settle for what is familiar? Because what's familiar is not going to be fulfilling. And so Spirit leaves us off with one more message, and that is, let's see, inner work. Should have known with this connection, right? I mean, at this point, because they're not giving anything. They just kind of, came in and they weren't strong enough. So what was the point? And Spirit says, inner work, that God brings you ideal situations for your inner healing. As you become aware of your weaknesses, you turn them into strengths. You direct your thoughts towards the light and you see the positive side to every stage of your life. Darkness turns into courage. Thus, you get stronger. And really, Spirit says again, this was for your inner work. And it was again to prompt you to go out into the world and explore and see the wonders of the world that will stir you up and stir up the wonders within inside of you to help discipline you towards, again, creating, towards doing the things that you love, to create a new world, right? To create a new way where there is no way. Because again, this trauma is not who you are, Spirit says. That's an experience that you went through. However, when you get into this energy, you become who you're supposed to be. But the connection was all to help you heal. I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll be on later live. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.